talk about the birds and the bees. No, this is not a Sue talk about sex, but this is a story about blooming humans. This is a story of the birds and the bees like your mama never told you. So, come with me. I want you to close your eyes and envision this with me. You're walking through a beautiful garden. There's colorful flowers and green trees. It's warm out. And oh, crap, what did I step in? How many people in here know that in life crap happens? We all do, right? Like, crap, I forgot to send that email. Or crap, I missed an important meeting. Crap, I'm not sure if I wore deodorant today. Or crap, I'm getting divorced, or I lost my job. Walking through the trials of this life, there is one thing I do know. There will always be ups and downs. There'll always be stuff. I like to look at crap like this. C is for control. What is actually in my control? R is for response. Not reaction, response. It's calculated. A is for adapt. Now that I know what's in my control and how I will respond, what will I do to adapt to the situation? And P is for persevere. Knowing what I know now, I'll keep trekking through the yuck and become stronger as I go. Have you ever been stung by a bee? Have you ever been wounded by someone in your own hive? Done wrong by someone in your own home? Or betrayed by someone within your own organization? Have you fallen short as a mom, a wife, a leader? How did you handle the betrayal or rejection or failure? Did you know that the very best remedy for that bee sting is actually honey? The very sweetness that comes from the same place as the actual offender is the remedy. Interesting, isn't it? Just like we have the ability to heal from within, we have the ability to be the change. Gandhi said, "Be the change you wish to see in the world." Now, I'm a big believer in the ripple effect. Over the last 5 years, I've been through many hard times. Through these hardships, I've come to realize I'm not supposed to be standing on the sidelines waiting for that ripple to come to me. I've chosen now to be right in the center, sending out that effect from right here where my feet are planted. It starts in my world first, where I work and live and play. On Thursday mornings, I lead a sales meeting at my corporate office with my entire sales team, business development team, senior VP of sales. On these mornings, my eyebrows are plucked like a fine bonsai tree. I have extra mascara on. You know how we do it, ladies. A few weeks ago on one of these Thursdays, I left the house feeling good. I had a new blouse on, my hair looked a little better than normal, and even my coffee was on point, and I was on my way to conquer the day with the posture of self-assurance. As I was driving to work, I looked up in the rearview mirror for one more, "Yep, you got this, girl," check of self-approval. And what I saw shot me down. Made me swerve into the other lane a little bit. What? Pump the brakes. No one ever told me the hair, skin, and nails vitamin was an equal opportunity grower. My nose hairs were out of control. Seriously out of control. I spent the next 20 minutes and the rest of the drive to work pulling as many nose hairs as I could. My eyes welled up and my mascara ran. And I even contemplated being stuck in traffic so I could swing by Target and pick up a trimmer. I led the meeting thinking about this insecurity, and especially that one long one I couldn't get. I'm pretty sure it was gray, too. We talked about sales growth and forecasted growth and growth plans, and all I could hear was nose hair growth. I even tried one more time in the women's restroom to get that one long elderly hair to no avail. Crap. Control? Nothing. Surrender to my imperfection. Respond by going about my day. Adapt? Well, I had to adjust the way I see myself. And persevere with what I've got. Nose hair and all, it was going to be a great day. But this was not always the way I handled these bumps in the road. I could not always just wing it. I am a perfectionist. Actually, I'm a recovering perfectionist. Prior to my life, as I knew it, hitting the fan, so to speak, I liked to look like I had everything all together all the time. My appearance, my home, my kids, my business. There could be no wrong. This, ladies and gentlemen, is false advertising. There is no such thing as perfect, and perfectionism can be a lonely place, as only I knew the actual mess behind the scenes. The birds and the bees, they wing it. Creating this impression of perfectionism meant I would never give myself the grace to wing it. Regardless of how far I've come, if I'm only looking at the ideal, I'm always going to fall short. Constructive feedback in business to the perfectionist translates as failure. As a leader in business, I thought perfectionism meant having high standards, which I found is not the same. Having high standards are a level of quality and excellence. It's a principle of honesty and integrity. Perfectionism is the refusal to accept any standard short of perfection. Without being aware of the ripple, I was creating anxiety by holding others to standards that were and always will be unobtainable. This creates zero winning strategy. This kills teamwork. And this hijacks others' creativity. In this intense environment, winging it for everyone is strictly prohibited. Perfectionism in the home takes its toll as well. If I look perfect, work perfect, live perfect, I can avoid shame or judgment. What was I teaching my kids? And what had I been taught? I had created this protecting shield blocking vulnerability and authenticity. Two very important character traits I would qualify any great leader to have, and two traits I wholeheartedly wish to exemplify to my son and daughter. This meticulously formulated impression was hard work, and although I was blind to it at the time, that protecting shield was an exhausting daily crusade of constant burnout. I lived under an umbrella of zero self-grace, where depression and anxiety grew. A few years ago, my life's battleship sank and spit me out right at rock bottom. This is when I learned that most of life is out of our control. I swore I would not go through that pain in vain. I took a good look at the one thing I could control, myself. The realization of my truth at this time came to me like a shovel to the face. The truth hurts, and I had hurt people. I had let others down by leading this way. And even worse, my high expectations had at times crushed the little spirit of those two kids. Even bigger crap. What was in my control? Well, everything, so I thought. I came to find out this is painfully untrue. I guess I never believed that life is really 10% what happens to me and 90% how I respond. And how will I respond? I learned to surrender. I learned to not take myself so seriously. Adapt. You know, adapt is just a nice way of saying attitude. And I needed an attitude adjustment, like adjust your crown, girl. I revised the level of the bar I set for myself and others around me, knowing that they can set their own bar. And persevere. I moved forward without shame or guilt for not knowing what I didn't know. I am so happy to tell you that I am perfectly imperfect. I can now be vulnerable. Yeah, make noise for that. That's good. I can now be vulnerable, allowing others to know me and see me fail at times. Vulnerability is said to be the courage to show up and let yourself be seen. I can now be authentic, allowing others to see me in a real rather than constructed light. They say that truth is the new black. It looks good on everyone. So I'll state my truth, wear my truth, and live my truth so that others in my company are free to do the same. Knowing that far from being a weakness, vulnerability and authenticity are a sign of strength. And just like the birds and the bees, I wing it. I don't have to have the answer all the time. In fact, I really like not having the answer all the time. I lead with self-grace most of the time, which becomes a contagious atmosphere of unity, balance, and collaborative effort. My team can comfortably ask for what they need. They're more willing to express their feelings, which strengthens our connections. They say what they really think, which actually comes very naturally to my teenagers as well. Now, I'm not saying it's easy to hear that someone on your team has failed. I'm working on that. But in the office, we embrace failure as opportunity. And I am humbled when I am leaned into and looked at as a mentor. With this, I understand each person as an individual, including my kids, which makes them feel important, and they should, because they are. I am, by example, leading others to be true to themselves. I have created growth within the organization by demonstrating you don't have to have it all together all the time. I am the ripple I wish to see, and the change starts right here with me. I am successful, I am unstoppable, I am empowering. I have grace in my heart and fire in my soul. You know that battleship that sank? I rebuilt it with my own 2 wings. And this one, with God's help, actually floats. And by the way, on that nose hair day, I closed one of the biggest accounts of my entire career. We are personally involved with the creation of our own reality. Yeah. So crap happens. And when it does, be the change. Just swing it.